Parents do not see what children go through, so and children don't see what the stress parents are involved.
Parenting styles have also evolved.
Anxiety is the word for nowadays generation. I think they face it a lot. So there are a lot of technical life and personal life needs definitely a good balance, and it's very challenging.
Welcome back to Mangalore Budding Talents. On today's special episode, we have a very special guest, Miss Anjana Kamath, a passionate educator over the past 2 decades, founder of Hakuna Matata Club, and the director of Canara Nandagokul and International School. She is not just shaping young minds, but she is also a visionary. Today, we are diving deep into the topic of modern parenthood and the upbringing of future generation. It's a very crucial topic that needs to be heard by everyone in today's world. So stay tuned till the end. Hello everyone. We have with us Ms. Anjana Kamath, an educator over the past 2 decades. Thank you, Ms. Anjana, for taking your time and coming here.
It's my pleasure, Ria. Thank you so much.
Yes, so today we'll be talking on the topic modern parenthood and the upbringing of the future generation. So you're the right person that can guide us on this
Hopefully.
topic. So to begin with, we have witnessed significant shifts in the societal behaviors over the past 2 decades. So how crucial is it for the society to adapt to these changes?
Yes, adapting to societal changes, I think it's very important, very essential for growth, because there is technology, communication style, cultural shifts has been evolved, and if we want to stay connected to children, it's very important for the supporting environment. So it's very important to adapt to these changes.
In your professional experience, what are some of the most common challenges parents and children bring to you, and what are they asking you to help with?
Yes, so most of the time it is parents who will specify for help, because children we understand anyways they need help in this, but for parents they would seek advice with how to make my child extrovert. Like I feel nowadays all parents are in this term called, they want to socialize as much. It is important, yes, but it is to the extremes what they are looking forward to. So even if the child is communicating in his environment, but the parent want them to be really, talkative and smart, and yes, that's understandable, but there are children who seek help to communicate. Speech delays, learning difficulties, learning disabilities, sibling rivalry, seeking attention, understanding of, to share the world with others. These are some common problems what parents seek help for. And for children, I think children seek someone to talk to, like, they would love to sit and talk to you, they would love to cuddle with us, and these are the things what they seek help. So that is with the junior ones. And senior also, they would look forward for somebody to share their problems, or maybe some small, maybe whatever happened at home, they want someone to share their problems with. Or even with friends, they're looking forward teachers to be as friends, so that they can build that rapport and, be themselves in a classroom. That is what nowadays I think children look forward to, so that they are comfortable in learning environment.
Parenting styles have also evolved. The old days of where the distant parent and child relationships are fading, and now there's a strong emphasis on parent being the best friends of their kids. So, how important is this adaptation for parents?
Yes, the adaptation is very important to be very close to children, but the concept of friendship and, letting them do whatever they want is somewhere, I think, causing problems, because friends they can find anywhere. Anybody can be their friend, but they have only one parent, so one mentor, one guide. But when I say this, they need to be parent, but the communication should be easy. I must be feeling comfortable to go and share this problem to my parent. There the friendship would be there, but not otherwise, because there's only one parent and they need to guide the child. And when I say this, it's more on communication rather than the relationship what you're talking about. Because if you're all the time shouting or placing restrictions, the child would never come and talk to you. So whom do they go, and they would get wrong advices with outside world. So it's best to ask with their in-house people, and that's you parents. So I think there they need to build that communication, friendly communication, to guide them in the right way. Even if the child should be aware that he has committed a mistake, and he should be, as a parent you should keep that way open for the child to come and discuss his mistake, and not yell at him or spank at him. And the child will definitely, with that fear, he'll never come and talk, never be open to parents. So we need to know where my child is going, but it's okay to go there. So that way it's kind of very tricky, but you need to maintain it, not go to the extremes of friendship or be a parent kind.
Balance.
Balancing is very important.
Right. So there needs to be the strong balance between authority and friendship between the parents and the children. So conversely, how can children take an active step to build a stronger bond with their parents? What are the practical steps they can take?
Yes. So both these roles, they don't see the other side. Like parents do not see what children go through. So, and children don't see what the stress parents are involved in. So if it's from child student phase, I think children should involve themselves in helping their parent, maybe their mother, with household chores, or just sharing what the mother is having, or father, whatever, it can be father or mother, but helping them. And there you can build a bond slowly by helping them with their chores and everything. And same thing with the parent. I think the parent can um, let the child makes have involved in decision making of the house, and also in sharing their experience, how their day went by. So the child also will open up about their day. Okay, today my day this thing happened, so then the child would also open up. So this way I think it cannot be one way communication at all. You can't expect a child to come and tell all his problems. Definitely only if the parent is also sharing, I'm 100% sure the child would always come to you and speak. It's vice versa. So just like a spouse relationship where we have to put in 50% effort, 100% definitely, but 50-50 from each other. So similarly with the parent and the child, effort is needed. It just doesn't evolve naturally. Like,
Right. So most of the times, children take the sacrifice of parents for granted. So I think it's a very crucial point. We ourselves need to adapt to that.
yeah.
So next question: in metropolitan cities and even in cities like ours, where both parents often work, so it seems like a real challenge to maintain meaningful interactions with children. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, work life and personal life needs definitely a good balance, and it's very challenging. Believe me, I do try, juggling between home and workplace. Yes, but an effort is always done. Like, at least to share a meal together, maybe dinner together, or that 10-minute quality time, sleep time is something what you look forward to, and to create these bonds. I think that would definitely help with the younger one's sleep time. But I think the adolescents, I don't think they have a sleep time at all. I see all the adolescents nowadays sleep very late. But yes, at least one alternate weeks, or at least weekends, share a meal together, hang out with children. And children can, sometimes for children it is embarrassing to hang out with parents. There are children who do that, who face that, but they need to know that parents play a very important role in their life. So they need to involve their parents to get their job easy, like, for all permission, and to maintain peace at home. So they too need to work together, and they should find that time, or form rules together, sit together, and then they can say that, okay, this time is yours, you can always come to me during this time. And similarly the children, mama, I want your time during the weekend, or we'll watch a movie together. So these are the things what we can always plan out.
Right, so it's about parents and children putting in their 50-50, like you said,
Yes.
between the spouse and the
Yes.
spouses, the same way. All of this brings us to one critical point, that's the mental well being of our kids. So, we are seeing a rise in mental health issues among the youngsters who are trying to cope with life struggles. So, what precautions should parents take in this kind of environment?
Yes, maintaining a safe emotional pace at home is the key. Now, when a child has cold or fever, every parent is so worried with all medicines, taking them to doctor and doing blood tests and everything. But the most important part is the mental health, which I think very rarely we take them to a psychologist, and we need good psychologists. These children are always worried of being judged, and now social media in place, we and everyone on Snapchat or Instagram, it's everything happy world. You see only happy world of everyone else except mine, because problem is there in everyone's life which is not showcased on social media. But at least 60 to 70% of their time is spent on social media, and there the social media is only the happy world. So in reality, when the child or a student or an adolescent, a teenager who face these problems is so panicky, he just doesn't know what to do.
Yes, very true. So in recent, we have heard, a lot of issues or news that people are giving up way too soon. So how should the mindset of those kids be?
Yes, end is, I mean, even we all have heard this from primary years. Even the word impossible says I am possible. So whatever is the problem solving techniques are not taught to children right from childhood, and that's how they give up. Stress is not at all faced. Parents always want their child to be first or recognized. They're always behind it, and failure is something what is not exposed from young days. And when they grow up and they go to a workplace, or where they have to face the reality out in the world, and all of a sudden they face this stress, failure, rejection, judgment, and then they don't know, they don't have any skills. So I think um, educating children with problem solving technique, decision making, being responsible for their decision, and the main important problem solving techniques, that should be the support and everyday part of their life. People should talk about these things at home, and they should know that there are people who can listen to them. They just need listening ears without judgment. And I think as parents, as adults around, or even a friend is always there for you who will just listen without any judgment. So I think they should find that person instead of giving up in life. I'm sure 100% if they just put even on status or anything about it, there will be someone who will come and give them a call or talk to them. So instead of giving up. And counselors are the best. It's not just if you're going through a divorce or depression that you need to go and meet a counselor. Just with your regular problems, you can always go and approach them. It is always confidential, and they won't judge. They are good listeners, and they will be there for you.
Yeah, thank you for pointing those ways because people at that moment, they just think of giving up. But like you said, there are so many ways, and there are people out for each other, to support
Yes.
and be there. So, like you spoke about social media, I want to add another question to that. Kids are heavily influenced by online personalities and influencers. So, how do parents navigate this influence and their kids develop critical thinking skills?
Yes. So it's very important to have an open discussion with children about online trends. There were recent so many games, right?
Yeah,
Which was a question of life and death
yeah,
and things like that. There was,
Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, there should be open discussion about it, and parents should not just pounce on them, and the child also should feel comfortable to share it with parents. And I think parents can just know the online trends with the child, but importantly parents can talk about the motives behind this contents. Why is it there? I mean, distinguish between healthy inspiration and just for fun or unrealistic role models, I can say. So that should help open discussion, and the parents should talk without any judgment. Like, you don't end up just judging, saying that, oh, this is very bad, this is bad for you, why is it spending your whole time on this app? Let them come through the steps, let them have a discussion, and then together come to a conclusion on why it is bad.
So, Miss Anjana, I have heard that you are involved with a lot of innovative and creative workshops for children. You do a lot of, fun things also with them. So, could you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, so I run this clubhouse called Hakuna Matata Clubhouse, which is after school activities for children. So if you have to compare the older days and now the present generation, they're always inside the house. Even here, if you see these streets, the neighborhoods, so it's all empty. It's only filled with vehicles. So, and nuclear families is like a trend now. So everybody is having just one or two children at home and they do not have any social experience. For me, more than vitamins or minerals, nutrients, anything for that food matter, I believe a lot in human experience for the mind, growing mind. So they need human experience, and that's where socialization is very important to understand the reality of life, for the mental well-being. Human experience gives the child to cope with failure or stress or whatever, as we spoke about, this discussion was about. So that's where human experience is needed. So that's where I conduct these activities where they are not forced to come in. So that's why the fun factor should be there, and children should enjoy, mingle, make new friends, initiate a conversation, talk to people literally. So that's where these activities and workshops are planned.
That's a really wonderful initiative. If I was a kid, I would definitely come because I would want to have some fun too. Also, another personal question I would love to ask, that is, among my friends group and even the youngsters, we hear this word anxiety a lot. So most of them go through this in a daily basis. So do you have any special mantra or techniques to get over this?
Anxiety is the word for nowadays generation. I think they face it a lot. So there are a lot of techniques, and I'm sure children should Google or use Chat GPT, and they can find help. But yes, you can. We always know deep breathing helps. But if that's not cool for them, they could have breathe box breathing. It's called, like, you need to hold your breath for 4 counts and then exhale for 4 counts. Those kind of techniques make it challenging and fun, because nowadays children, I think, I know their mindset, they find yoga, meditation, breathing not so cool, so they need some cool stuff. So one is deep breathing, and then probably journaling. Like, you get a lot of creative journals online. Keep one book for yourself and you can share about your day, and your thoughts are let out. Affirmations is something, we do use it in sports oftenly, but not in other real life. Come on, you can do it. That should keep running in your mind. You can do it this time. I will do it. And those are the affirmations. Should look into the mirror. You can say it and make it a part of your thought process that you can do it and you are going to face it this time. What is the worst case scenario? And that's how you can overcome. A lot of physical activity, they just go to gyms, but yes, other than that, any fitness group, just join in, because earlier days we had these hobbies, but hobbies are not so cool again, and that's how people just, I think hobby is just browsing through the net or shooting, taking a reel. Yes, so yes, we need to get out our creative side of our, like, we can focus more on the creative outlet. And yeah, positive self talk, there's a lot of motivation. TEDx is a cool thing, at least. So yes, listen to more of that. These are the few things which I think should help.
Thank you, Anjana, for sharing those tips. Your insights and all your knowledge that you shared with us was truly impactful.
I
Thank
hope
you.
it has helped certain
It definitely
ways
did.
at
So,
least.
thank you so much for taking your time and having a conversation here with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hope Miss Anjana's words of wisdom and experience inspired you as it did for me. If you love this episode, do subscribe to Mangalore Budding Talents and share this with your loved ones.